a little unusual. We're going to have a co-author present SB 373 in the absence of the author. Senator Block.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is on behalf of Dr. Pan. I am a co-author of SB 373. I present to you a measure that will help increase the number of full-time faculty at our community colleges and improve educational outcomes for all of our students. SB 373 accomplishes this by doing two things. First, it sets a district cap equivalent to the number of part-time faculty based on current full-time employed faculty during the 2014-15 year. So there's a cap on part-time faculty that can be hired. Second, SB 373 prohibits newly hired tenure-track faculty from performing any type of overload assignments during their 4-year probationary period until they become tenured regular employees. This will ensure a successful probationary period, allowing faculty who are new to concentrate on their primary teaching assignment. With that, I have some witnesses who will present.
Okay, thank you. In support of the bill. Push the red button, please. Thank you.
California Federation of Teachers, a sponsor of the bill. Thank you for allowing the co-author to present, Madam Chair. Appreciate that.
Wait all day, right?
Yes. So this bill, as you know, is to follow up on legislation that was passed in 1988, 1725 by Vasconcelos, which mandated that districts should endeavor to reach a 75-25 goal between full-time and part-time faculty. Since that time, in the intervening 27 years, our ratios have actually gone backwards instead of ahead. So this bill, what it would do would be to cap the number of part-time faculty that we can have overall in the district, so that as future growth occurs, we would hire full-time faculty rather than part-time faculty in order to try to address that ratio. We've done quite a bit of research on this, and that's been circulated to the committee members. It's very clear that one critical indicator on student success is the number of full-time faculty that are present in the district. There are many research papers and a little table that we just handed out to you as well that demonstrate that. If we don't do something to curb the proliferation of part-time faculty members, we're never going to make any progress towards that goal, whatever that number may be. So we hope that the committee will look at this in a positive light. This bill doesn't cost any money. It doesn't ask districts to spend any money that they don't have. It just says if you are going to spend money to hire new people, they need to be full-time. It's the same model that K-12 has in place. K-12 doesn't have the same problem we have in the community colleges because they don't have the ability to hire a bunch of part-time faculty like we do in community colleges. So this is hopefully to address that situation and move it in a different direction. Thank you.
Thank you. Others in support?
Hi, my name is Laura Baeza, and I'm a student at San Diego City College. Since I started at San Diego City College, more than half of my professors have been adjunct faculty. And although they are all qualified as the full-time professors, it is very, very hard for me to get a hold of them, and it's taken a toll in my education because they're unable to mentor me, and I'm unable to find them during their office hours since they're running from one campus to another trying to make ends meet. I do ask that you support this measure and let other students as myself have full-time faculty that is going to be able to mentor them and give them the education that we deserve. Thank you.
Sorry.
Good morning, Jennifer Baker with the California Teachers Association in support of this important legislation. I'd like to expand on some of the testimony that's already been provided by pointing out that when you hire full-time faculty, you're ensuring not only that excellent students have an opportunity to have access to their instructors, but it becomes particularly important when you look at the diversity of the students that we have within the community college system. It disproportionately serves an extremely large amount of students of color, and when those students don't have access to the very faculty that they're taking their courses with, that's disproportionately impacting students of color. In addition, when you also look at the access to faculty during office hours, and you look at the fact that when students have access to faculty, they're also going to be not necessarily going to need all the various student support services, because the faculty may be able to help students that may have had questions or concerns, or help to guide them in a direction that's going to help them to not need perhaps as many different counseling services. So we believe that there's a direct relationship between full-time faculty and student success, and would urge your aye vote.
Thank you. In support.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Jonathan Lightman on behalf of the Faculty Association of California Community Colleges in support. This issue of the percentage of instruction taught by full-time faculty has been one that's been on the priority list of all the faculty organizations for many years. FAC has a bill in the Assembly also dealing with this. The conundrum has been, is there a way to do it within existing resources in a way that we can align with the state budget as well as with district priorities, and to modernize the statutes in a way that allow for achieving of the 75% goal, but also to do so to reflect the legislative direction for the colleges in addition to what the districts want to accomplish. So we commend the sponsors and the author, as well as the co-author, for this legislation, and we hope that you would consider moving it forward. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, others in support of the bill? Is there opposition to the bill? Let's make room for the opposition, please.
Thank you, Chair, members. Mark McDonald, McCallum Group, on behalf of a number of local community college districts, Los Rios, Pasadena, Peralta, South Orange County, and Yuba community college districts in opposition. But let me start by saying that we agree with everything that the proponents of the bill said. Full-time faculty on the community college campus are important. They provide the wraparound services that the students need. They're also there for office hours, which is important for those students. However, we don't believe that this is the mechanism for achieving that goal. What we are concerned with, and I think the analysis does a very good job of laying this out, is the unintended consequence that this could have on student access. If you're limited to only adding courses that are taught by full-time faculty, you're really limited on the number and types of courses that can be added. And we're also concerned that this bill would remove some of the flexibility that the districts have in responding to the local workforce needs. We do believe that a better way of achieving this, and I think that this year is a very good opportunity to do this, is to put some money in the budget towards hiring full-time faculty. I know that the sponsors of the bill have a budget request for that, and I think that that is a much better way to go about doing this. So we would urge opposition to this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ryan McElhaney with the Community College League of California, and we would also like to align ourselves with the proponents of this bill and the importance of full-time faculty. We just feel, unfortunately, that this bill will have unintended consequences that was just laid out by my colleague from local community college districts and what is in the committee analysis. I think one thing we'd like to add is that the 75% goal was incumbent on community colleges receiving resources up to the CSU level. And that has not happened, and thus we have not hit this goal. This just goes, again, to the need for more resources for full-time faculty rather than mandating that colleges hire them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, any others in opposition to the bill? Any questions from members? Senator Hancock.
Yeah, I have a question that actually was raised by the opposition, because I'm strongly in favor of the 75% goal. I think it makes a community of scholars better. It certainly has people rooted in a campus faculty rooted in a campus, so they're there to mentor and really coach the students in ways that just aren't possible with adjunct faculty. But I need to know a little bit more now about why the inflexibility of this approach might make it difficult to offer appropriate courses or whatever. And I'm also interested in where was the language and in what bill that said this wasn't going to kick in until community colleges had the same funding as CSUs. I never heard that before.
I believe it was laid out in AB 1725 and passed in 1988, and I'd be happy to get that to you.
Yeah.
The Vasco bill.
And so what does that mean in real life?
That means, unfortunately, community colleges are the lowest per pupil funded of any of our systems in higher education and also K-12. And as the proponents of this bill have alluded to, we have not made much progress to that 75-25 goal. It's my belief that community colleges received funding to reach that goal for roughly 2 years until the recession of the early 1990s hit. And after that, we have not received the funding needed to make significant progress to that goal. But I'd be happy to get you more background information on
So
that.
you've lost more money than CSUs and UCs have?
I'm not sure what exactly happened.
We started below and just haven't built up to that level.
Okay, and that's something in the Prop 98 formula that you can't?
We receive less funding per student, generally speaking.
Yes, they receive less funding for students as opposed to K-12 kids.